Ecclesiasticus 30 verse 15. Health and good estate of body are above all gold, and a strong body above infinite wealth. There is no riches above a sound body, and no joy above the joy of the heart. Death is better than a life. Death is better than a bitter life or continual sickness. Delicates poured upon a mouth shut up, are masses of meat set upon the grave. All praises, honor, and glory to the Heavenly Father and His only begotten Son, Yahweh, Bahasham, Yahushai, Bahasham, Wakakwadash. Double honor to my teachers, the apostles, the elders, and the bishops of Great Millstone. Shalom to the Yakin Roboy that are sincere and serious in doing the will of Yahweh, Bahasham, Yahushai, Bahasham, Wakakwadash. 2 Peter chapter 1, verse 1 and 2. To you all.
This right here, why did I click on this? Because, oh yeah, oil of oregano, boom. Oil of oregano. Oil of oregano is very, very good. All of you should have this in your cabinet. And basically, this is a study. This website right here is a really good website. They do a lot of studies on damn near every herb you can think of, every vitamin, mineral. You know, they do extensive studies. So this is a cool site to bookmark right here. But basically, they did a test and they found out that oil of oregano and a couple of they call essential oils are very, very good on viruses and antiviral efficacy or efficiency. Okay, so here's another one. Oil of oregano proves effective against coronavirus. So I'm gonna show you brothers the way I use it, you know, which I found to be very effective. Now I'm gonna say about the oil of oregano. There's a lot of them out there, and a lot of them are just BS. In other words, they're watered down. The really, really strong one, I mean, you take that and it'll damn near burn a hole through your tongue. That's how strong it is. There's a place around here, you can get it locally, but you know, you brothers, most of y'all probably don't live around here. But I'm gonna get the information on how to tell, because I can't think of it off my head, but I'll get the information on how to tell if it's the real deal or not. And then, you know, I'll do another video, Lord's willing. But oil of oregano, boom, that's important. Here's another lung cleansing tea, all right? Lung cleansing tea, and this is to detox your lungs. Now, looking at the ingredients, so basically what you want, man, now you don't have to do this if you don't have it. This is if you're suffering from it and you're starting to feel the respiratory effects, then you want to go to this, or you can just do this generally as a lung detox, okay? But if you're suffering, if you think you may have an infection, you can do this, but the ingredients are ginger, turmeric, honey, and I'm gonna say if you can get manuka honey, because the manuka honey is medical grade honey. So you get honey, manuka honey, black pepper. Cracked black pepper is the best. You know, if you want to get cracked black pepper, because a black pepper that you see at your diner or the restaurants, that's BS. So is the salt. It's artificial. Real pepper has something in it called pepperine, and what pepperine does is it helps your stomach or your body, actually your stomach, it helps it absorb nutrients and minerals better. Is a word for it. It's called bioavailability. So it makes anything you eat more bioavailable to your body. Black pepper does that. This is where the tradition comes from, putting black pepper on food. Then you have cinnamon, right? So this is good as a detox, but what you want is something, you want an expectorant, because what an expectorant will do, an expectorant will expel the mucus or the fluid that's within the lungs. So this is cool, but it won't really help. It won't do the full job. So I'm gonna come back to this later. Got the scripture here. Okay, so let me bring up my notes here. Okay, so these are just some notes I jotted down. So this is like personal, you know, advice or whatever to prevent yourself. All right, so you want to keep your diet light, you know. You want to keep your diet light. You want to eat lots of green and fruits, because greens and fruits, they have antioxidants. Okay, and it'll give your immune system the tools that it needs to fight off any in other words, to operate optimally and strong, to fortify that wall. Your immune system is like a firewall on your computer. So keep your diet light. The reason why I say that is because the less work your stomach has to do, the better your body can be at fighting off infections. Because look, your gut is your second. It might even be your immune. Your gut is the harness of your immune system. And your gut has the flora in it. They call it flora. That's where you have all the good bacteria, and the good bacteria fight the bad bacteria. And this is why it's bad or not a great idea to take antibiotics, or to take them for a long time, because antibiotics kill the bad bacteria and the good bacteria. And what usually happens is you develop candida because the good bacteria start replenishing fast. And then you got the bad bacteria start replenishing fast. And the good bacteria, which you also killed off, it has to build up, but it's a little slower. And the bad bacteria, they spread like wildfire. So you want to keep your diet light so that your immune system could be at its fullest potential. So eat a lot of greens, eat a lot of fruits, which are light, and try not to eat as much meat. You want to work out, because working out causes you to sweat, and it causes your muscles to contract and expand, which expels toxins out of your body, and then it gets released. When you take a number 1, when you take a number 2, and also when you sweat. Okay, so sweating helps release toxins. So you want to do a little bit of exercise, do some jumping jacks, do something high intensity. If you're more advanced, something anaerobic that's going to make you sweat. But you don't want to do anything that's going to tax your body. So you don't want to do anything that's going to have you sore for the next day, because what that does is that it hits your immune system. And then the soreness is your body, is your muscle tissue that has ripped. And here it is, your immune system now has to send its resources to go repair the muscle. That's where the soreness comes from. But that's in actuality how muscles are built. Muscles are built by tearing your muscles down and then rebuilding it. And it builds up kind of like a callus. And your body actually builds the muscle while you're sleeping. So while we're talking about sleep, another thing is you want to rest as much as you can. Take a lot of rest. Don't go to bed all late, because rest is when your body does its repair job. That's when the little workers, your hormones, when you hit REM sleep, that's when your hypothalamus and different organs in your body that produce hormones that fix you up, that's when they really come alive, is during your sleep. That's why it's not good to eat late, because your body is going to need some resources to fix you up. So then you have this. I'm not going to try to pronounce it, but NAC. NAC is very good for respiratory diseases, and what it does is it thins out the mucus, so that your body, it thins out the mucus and the fluid, so your body can breathe easier. Okay, then we got the mask that I mentioned. All right, so if you suspect yourself having an infection, and this not only goes for this, just in general for anything, here's a little concoction that I use, and this is like a quick fix, but it works. It's very effective, right? So this involves cayenne pepper, oil of oregano, and alcohol. Me, I prefer whiskey. I'm a whiskey guy, right? So what you do is you take a little shot glass. You fill it with the whiskey or whatever alcohol you're going to use. You put oil of oregano in there. So again, you want to use some good strength oil of oregano, and depending on your tolerance, you're gonna have to mess around with this. Start with like 2 or 3 drops, and then you can build up to like 5 to 8 drops to 10 drops, depending again on your tolerance of oil of oregano. You got to be careful with it, because it's very strong stuff, and it could it could harm you. But if you don't, you stay with low drops, you'll be just fine. So that and cayenne pepper, and I'm gonna tell you what each one does. So the cayenne pepper, that's my favorite herb of all time. Cayenne pepper. There's so many things you can do with that. But when it comes to deal with ailments, what cayenne pepper does, cayenne pepper will immediately break up mucus. I mean, immediately. Mucus doesn't stand a chance against cayenne pepper, so it'll immediately break up mucus. It also clears the passageway, so it'll clear the passageway to wherever the herb needs to go. The cayenne pepper will clear the passageway. Then you got the oil of oregano. The oil of oregano is known for its very, very strong antiviral and antibacterial properties. So the cayenne pepper makes way for the oil of oregano. And then you got a shot of whiskey. Now, the reason I do the whiskey is because so another way to take oil of oregano that I do is I'll take the oil of oregano and I'll mix it with olive oil. But what that does is that sends it down to your gut. Now, when you're dealing with diseases, something like the COVID-19 or of an infection, you want to hit your bloodstream. You want to hit the bloodstream because your bloodstream feeds everything in your body, and wherever the virus is, it's feeding off your body. It's feeding off things you put in your bloodstream, sugar, and these different things, and these candies and these foods. So what you do is you use oil of oregano with whiskey. The whiskey, because of its alcohol, it goes right into your bloodstream, right? It hits your bloodstream. This is why when you drink a lot of alcohol, you piss, because it goes in your bloodstream, and then your kidney filters it out. So the quickest way to get the oil of oregano to the damn infection, to the virus, is you mix it with whiskey. So you take a shot of whiskey, and then you just down it. Don't sip it, just down it. Just down it. And immediately you should feel some relief. You'll feel the freaking oil of oregano and the cayenne pepper. You'll feel it traveling down into your lungs, all right? And then you'll see that your respiratory system just opens up. And I'm telling you, you can use this for anything, any cold or whatever ailments you have. But this is good. This is a good thing to take every once in a while,
Yeah, it will also add
or phlegm, and this is good generally again if you have pneumonia.
Slovakia, 1 Timothy 5:23. Drink no longer water, but use a little wine for thy stomach's sake and thy often infirmities. See, the Bible has all the answers, man. You understand? For every area of your life.
Or the flu, and you got stuff in your lungs. I have this link here, but this link is to this here that we brought up before, this right here. Now, the only thing I would add to this is, again, like I mentioned, manuka honey, and I would add onion. Onion, I learned this from when I was young, traditional Levite physicianal uses, right? So they use onion. I remember they always use onion when you had a cough or phlegm, and the shit worked. It always worked. And if you look.
Shalom.